from bandtoolshq.com here, just following on from the Band Tools podcast episode 11, where we're talking about SurveyMonkey, using surveys for bands to find out what your fans really think of your live shows, or perhaps your music and albums coming out as well. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what I've most recently done on SurveyMonkey with my band, and that is we held an event, and it was actually on a boat. It was called Metal Cruise, and after that was finished, the next day I just did this quick little 9 or 10 questions survey up and posted the link in the event page. And as you can see here, I've just had 23 respondents, but that's still pretty helpful. And as we'll go through here, I got a pretty clear idea of some of the real feedback and how we can improve next time. So I'll just go through what it looks like, the analytics that you can see as the administrator after people have put responses in. So the first question I had, so I wrote these questions in, which you can do as well. I put overall, how would you rate the event? And we can see here, most put a 5 and some put a 4. So that's pretty awesome, a 5 out of 5. I'm pretty happy that we had a good event, but there's obviously a tiny bit of room for improvement, but that's definitely a good sign. Then we had, how did you rate the choice of boat for this gig? A bit weird that it's on a boat, but nonetheless, that was a question that I wanted to check because there are a few options out there for different weird boats that you can choose instead of a normal venue. But anyway, the same 1 to 5. A lot of people put 5, which is cool. A few 4s, a few 3s. So yeah, I guess overall people are pretty happy with that. I said we thought the bands were great, but how did you rate the sound quality? And this was one I was a bit worried about because our sound really sucked. Actually, we had a cool PA, but we probably didn't set the equipment up well enough and didn't really think it through to as best we could anyway. So as you can see here, it's a bit scattered all over the place. It averages out at 3.5, so that's a pass, but obviously, sound quality is a really important thing at a gig, so that is something we'll definitely be keeping an eye on next time. Said, what did you think of the ticket price? Because we did have it sort of expensive. It was $35 or $40 entry, just for some local bands. So it seems a bit pricey, but just what we had to do in order to hire out a boat. But from the response, you can see that we've actually had most people say no complaints. One person said it was a bit too expensive. So in that case, I'd be pretty happy charging the same or a little bit more the next time. But it's definitely some good info to have. And then I've asked people, how did you find the 3-hour length of the cruise? And most people said too short or just right. Definitely none were too long. But next time, perhaps we could push it to 4 hours instead of 3, and people would be pretty happy with that. Next time, which of these would you prefer? So this is where I've given them 2 choices. I said another 3 or 4 hour cruise, similar to the same one that we just did, or would you prefer perhaps an afternoon cruise that goes for double the amount of time with more bands, but it would cost a bit more? A few people have said that, but it looks like a similar, shorter cruise trumps the answers there. So an interesting little experiment to do with that one. What was the best thing about the event? This was just for my own curiosity, because a lot of people were sort of not even watching the bands. They were hanging around and having the best time of their lives. So it's definitely interesting to see what encourages people to go to events anyway, and it's pretty across the board there. Would you attend again? Every single person said yes, so I'm pretty stoked about that, and that means that we will definitely do it again. If it wasn't all yeses, probably wouldn't bother using up the effort and money to do it, but if everyone's happy, we'll totally keep doing that. How did you find out about this cruise? Looks like most people have put Facebook, and I did sort of focus Facebook on the promotion for this one, so that's an expected response, I guess. A few people found out from their friends. Looks like no one found out through email or other social medias. I did do a mail out, but no one's really paid attention to that, so that's good info for me to know. I didn't actually do any print advertising for this gig, so that's why I haven't put it in here, but there are a few that have put other, so I'm not sure what that is, and maybe that's a sign that you shouldn't put other as an option, because we don't know what that is. Or leave a comment section for people to tell you what they're referring to. And then at the last question, I just put, do you have any more suggestions or feedback? And this is just to open the board up. People can write whatever they want. And being anonymous, it's kind of cool because people aren't too worried about giving you shit if they want to do that. You don't know who they are, so that's fine. And pretty much all of the responses are about the bar being too busy and hard to get drinks. So I was expecting that to be a bit of a problem. So that's cool, but good to hear that from people. Also, they're suggesting that we should have had a professional photographer for the night, so that is definitely something we'll do next time as well. So people were a bit upset that they couldn't really take proper photos, so totally understand that. Photos, bar staff, what else have we got here? That's pretty much it. A few jokes and funny stuff. Choice of drinks. Someone wants more rum. So anyway, that's just a bit of a look into how you can use SurveyMonkey for bands. Hope you dig it. If you want to check out the podcast episode, go to your favorite podcast app and search Band Tools in there, or head to the website, and the show notes for this episode are at bandtoolshq.com/surveymonkey.